Hey guys, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that Surewinder is still selling amazing products. Some of you guys have been dragging your feet for whatever reason. If your shoulder hurts, do not waste time. Pull the trigger. I just bought 4 or 5 of them, and we had 2 guys out. You know how much it cost me to pay for 2 guys being out with bad shoulders? We just pulled the trigger and we said, listen, everybody's going to have one on a truck. It's mandatory. You got to use it. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till your guys go down. It's going to cost you more. Buy a Surewinder.
Oh my God. What a month October was. Holy cow. Before I get into that, I want to share a couple updates. It is December 6th and 7th. We have an agenda laid out where we're going to cover a couple things that I think you need to know about. Let me adjust my camera. Listen. First of all, I think you guys know that I came from software, and I am doing a lot of software type stuff. We're building some pretty cool stuff. I've mentioned it here on the podcast, and I want to share a website with you, garagedoorU.com/mastermind DEC for December 25. So that's garagedoorU.com/mastermind DEC 25. The number's 25. Listen, you're going to want to go there because we're having a very inexpensive event on a weekend, because I know a lot of smaller dealers want to participate in stuff. And some of the feedback we've gotten from some of the smaller dealers are they want to participate. The problem is they can't get away from their business. So if you leave out on a Saturday morning really early or a Friday night, you can make it and get back so you don't miss any work. You just take a weekend, come down to Atlanta, spend a little time, and it's going to be great. The agenda's on there. It is subject to change a little bit, but let me just go over some of the topics that we're going to be covering. Sales management. So we're flying in somebody who I think is an incredible sales manager or business owner who's good at managing sales. He's going to be coming in to talk a little bit about sales management. I'll participate a little bit in that conversation as well, but I think he's even got more years on sales management than I do. I started when I was 20 and I'm 46, and I think he's got more than I do. We're going to be supplying lunch. We're at a really, really nice place with some amazing food. So you're going to want to be there. We're going to do a walkthrough on a software that I think will do wonders for you. It's called High Level, but we are building it out specifically for garage door companies. So you're talking phone management, lead management. I mean, this thing does a ton. And if you come, you might get a special deal on it. Let me know if you're coming and we will get it prepped for you. We're going to walk through some of that, answer a bunch of questions. There's a ton of automation and things we can build out for you in there. And we're going to be announcing some things. You're not going to want to miss this. We're going to talk about automations, and then we'll wrap up. A lot of the guys are planning to go to dinner that night, so you can go hang out with them. And you got dinner on your own, but make sure you go out with everybody, because some of the best conversations are going to be had around the dinner or the bar after the event. The next day, we'll do a little kickoff. We're going to talk about marketing and some of the changes that's happening in marketing. And we're going to do a little workshop, some roundtables. It's going to be great. Listen, guys, I think that these types of mastermind meetups, you do not have to be part of GDU. These types of meetups are going to be so helpful. It's micro doses of information that you're going to be able to take back 2 or 3 nuggets in a small window of time. This is not super overwhelming, and you'll be able to implement a few of these things. And for that reason, I think it's going to be amazing. So let me know if you're coming. You can sign up on there. You can reserve your spot. We only have, I think it's 18 spots left. It's not a lot. So please, I want you to come. Very interested in having you there. And just don't want you to miss out. I really believe that things like this will make you better. and you're going to learn a lot about it. So we've got 20 seats. 2 are already taken, and we look forward. We will fill it up. We're sending out all the information. I think we sent it out Friday afternoon to GDU members and Mark Annuity heroes. So make sure you're there. Anyway, moving on. October, horrible. Not numbers, but let me just share with you a lot of changes at Aaron Overhead Doors. A lot of changes. Number one, I'm stepping back in and taking over running the business. So that's new. We are changing staff roles. So getting the right people in the right seats. We hired an EOS facilitator or consultant, I guess is probably the best way to say it. So we start that on Thursday with an all-day meeting with him. It's not cheap, but I think this is going to be good for us. So we hired that. We're moving some people into some positions. We need to be very sales focused right now. So I think I told you guys that I pulled out of radio. I went kind of all in on radio, which was kind of a mistake. I think if I were to do it again, I would slow play it. I also wouldn't go on a music station. I do believe that there's room for play on some talk radio stuff. I just don't think that music radio is the best place for a home service company. Lesson learned, very expensive lesson, but I want you to learn through my mistakes, and I make plenty of them, so I share them here. Let's see what else. Crazy scenario, right? We let one of our top performers go and put a current employee in their place. And he actually outperformed, which is crazy to me. You sometimes don't know what you have until you put them to the test. And we just realized that we got an absolute monster in service right now. And he's so hungry to please. And I went out in the field with him on his first day because we had just launched FieldPulse. FieldPulse was a little messy, which I'm about to get into, tell you all about my transition from ServiceTitan to FieldPulse. But I want to share just a couple seconds here with this. I think it's better to have the right person in the right seat. And what was interesting was, like, we have an employee who we absolutely loved and, wasn't perfect by any means, fit the culture most of the time. And we decided that we were going to go a different route due to some issues. And so we had a hole to fill. And so we filled it with a current employee. And I'm just so impressed. I'm so impressed by, like, how you can go from feeling like, oh my God, how are we going to do this, to, oh, I had a gym the entire time. I just didn't try them. Another thing that I did wrong that you can learn from. Moving on, and we probably have more of those. I actually put out a little job description for a field manager because I feel like we need one in residential. And so I've got a couple people that are interested, and we're going to be going through those and like interviewing. I would love to hire from within if we can. But I'm just, I can see clearly, coming in, and I'm making a bunch of changes, and probably some people are doubting me in my own organization. Like, holy cow, he's making a ton of changes. We just changed dispatch software. We're moving people. We're letting some people go. But it's like, look, here's the deal. I got people who want raises and they deserve them. They're really good employees. And then I got people who are preventing that and, putting us in a position where we aren't as fruitful as we should be. And quite frankly, I'm just not at a place anymore where I'm okay with this standard. Like, you either are great or you're not. And for most people, I think you can choose to be great or you can choose not to be great. I think we have a lot of great people. I'm just not sure we have everyone on board thinking they want to be great. I think everybody we have on our staff now is great. They may not be acting great, I guess is probably one of the best ways to say it. And they may listen to this podcast, and that's perfectly fine with me. I mean, like, if they come to talk to me, I'll be straight up honest with them. I mean, like, I'll say it right now. I think we have the best team we've ever had by far, especially like, yeah, by far, and literally every area. I think the biggest challenge is we all have to individually decide, like, do we want to be the best? And I think, 80 or 90% of the people do. And then we just got to get the rest. I think that's the case with every company. So, really excited about the future for air and overhead doors and some of the things we're doing. We're like, we're getting in it. Hired the HR guy. You guys, I think he's been on the podcast before. He's got a good system for HR for home service businesses. It's a very inexpensive. I really like it. I think I'm also about to hire a headhunting company where they will go out and find people for you. I think that is a huge bog down for us. We're a small operation. We don't want a lot of like operational people. We want to streamline and automate as much as humanly possible. And the things that take the most amount of time for us are things like payroll. So we got payroll takes a lot of time. Ordering stuff takes a lot of time. I mean, really, those are kind of like the two things. Recruiting and onboarding and training. Those are the things that take the most time. So we're trying to put people in place to be able to do those things. And we want the best of the best. So long story short, we are going to be recruiting really heavily and we're not going to settle. We're looking for super intelligent people that are hardworking and want to come in and make a huge impact on a smaller company. We're currently 22 or 23 people. And we had another company locally come to us, and we might be like working a deal out with them to potentially merge or, do some type of business together, which I think is cool. I think we're going under some NDA and some of that stuff this week, and hopefully that works out. Obviously, I can't give you details, but lots of things are happening. And I think it was I forgot who it was, but maybe it was who quoted let's see here. The Rothschild said a quote: "The time to buy is when there's blood in the streets." He goes on to say, even when it's your own blood. This is when I think we've got to be buyers. The market's down. It's a tough, tough time. And I think we got to be buyers. I mean, I'm not sitting on a ton of cash. We've been through some of our savings, but I think now's the time to strike. Like we've gotta take market share, and everyone's taking market share when it's good. But the time to take the most market share is when it's bad. So I think we have a really good opportunity on our hands. Um, I'm really excited about it. So much change happening right now. And I am an extreme risk taker. I fail a lot, but I don't think it makes me a failure. I just think it makes it hard to work for me sometimes. And I'll put us in some positions occasionally with some risk that hurt us. And I'll put us in position sometimes with some risk that catapult us forward a lot. I'm not a gambler. I do believe I see things clearly. And if they're really big decisions, I really think I do a fairly good job of positioning it well. I'm not sure everybody would feel the same, but that's how I feel.
Hey guys, I found something that changed my business and I want to share it with you. We've created packages that have included some of the best products in our industry to offer our service customers. The heart of that package is Stealth Hardware Kit. Stealth Hardware is the quietest hinges on the market. I challenge you to buy at least one of these, test it for yourself. Put it on your truck and design a quiet performance package for your customers willing to pay for a better, smoother running door. Buy your Stealth Hardware Kit at Service Spring, do a search for Quiet Hinge, and then buy that. You can buy a double or single door, 7 or 8 foot tall, and promise you it'll change your service forever.
Somer USA and Somer Group want to thank you for an incredible year and the trust you've put in them and their products. As you know, Somer places high value on relationships, education, customer service, innovation, and professionalism. And they are grateful to you for your part in the fostering and dissemination of these values. If there is any way Somer can support you in your journey, whether through their products, the values they hold to, or the knowledge Somer has gained through interaction with door dealers across the world, please reach out to the team at your convenience. They are here to serve you. Again, thank you from the entire Somer team. Check them out at somerusa.com. Tell them Ryan sent you.
All right, let's talk a little bit about my transition from ServiceTitan to FieldPulse. First and foremost, I want to be super clear. We've only been on with them for like a week and a half, and it has not been great, just to be honest. I'm under the impression that things were going better for them prior to us coming on board. Couple things that I feel like you need to know. Number one, ServiceTitan fought us like hell trying to get our cancellation recognized or like our non-renewal. We put a notice in February, put another notice in like June or July. As early as like I think late August, early September, they were still telling us that management hadn't approved. Our last week was supposed to be November 3rd. That is our last day. That was like they're shutting it off. We'll have no access to anything. And so obviously I'm panicking. I'm also simultaneously asking them, like, how do I get my data? How do I get this? How do I get that? Like, can I get my pictures? Can I get this? Can I get that? And there was little to no communication. And I'm not going to go into like every detail, but I want you guys to know that they made this a living hell for me. So much so that I had to get my attorney involved just to get the data. And now when I try to download that data, it says that it's going to take over 20 hours to download. And it keeps crashing because obviously nothing's going to connect to the internet for that long without any like issues. So I can never get it to download. Now, I say all that to say this. After threatening and talking to their in-house counsel and, you know, whatever, they have finally reached out to me this past Friday, and I had a really good conversation. I was calm. They were calm. I just want my data. I just want my data. And I want some help docs or some type of README file in the zip file that helps me with the mapping, because I've heard it's like really difficult to map and understand how everything's tied together. And photos in general aren't super helpful unless I know what jobs are tied to, and I need job notes and forms and things like that. So long story short, that's all in play. They did bump us back like 2 weeks so that now we have another 2 weeks with the software. We're working on downloading the file. He wants me to try another computer. This is a $4,000 MacBook Pro hooked up to 1 gig download internet speed, and it's still having this problem. All right. Disaster with ServiceTitan. It's horrible. I'm writing about it on Reddit. I have a field management software Facebook group that I'm posting in occasionally. Let's talk about FieldPulse. I don't know if my timing's just really horrible, but they seem to be having a really hard time with the core product. And it's really disappointing because their team cares a lot. Like, they are bought into the vision of FieldPulse. They believe in the product. They love their customers. And I just, I think that the onboarding team needs a little bit better, more education, which I think is probably going to be the case with all, but they don't understand business. They understand their software, but they don't understand our business. So it makes it really hard when I'm trying to explain a scenario and I need an answer to it, but they can't give it to me because they don't really understand what I'm trying to say. And I had to switch onboarding people, and the second person was understood things a little bit better. And I think I mentioned this before. The first person was amazing. Like, I would have a beer with him or like hang out with him or whatever all day long. Like, he's just one of those guys that you love. He's super nice and friendly, and like you could talk to for days. But that's not what I needed. Like, I needed answers. I'm a software guy. I need to understand fully how this feature works. How, and I feel like they have done some things so well and right, and they've done some things so complicated. And in this day and age where I think the core competency of the platform is the booking and workflow functionality of the service people and the installers and all that, and then the data. I think we've overcomplicated it in a way where maybe all we need, and I'm using high level as like a plug on feature that's powering a lot of stuff behind the scenes for sales leads and marketing and all kinds of stuff. Like, we're getting into like fine detail with the software. And the reason why I knew I could go to a different software was because I didn't need everything ServiceTitan gave me, and I didn't want to pay extra for everything that I wanted. So I was able to eliminate, I think, go from 6 different software down to 2, and it's like these 2 software are going to outperform the 6 and make it significantly easier for my team to function. And I'm going to have detailed information that's accurate data that I can track with tons of automation and workflows. I mean, this is the magic. So these are things that we're doing at Mark Annuity, and we're doing it for Aaron Overhead Doors, and we're testing a lot of stuff. And what we're seeing is, holy cow, like, what if you could scale up millions of dollars and not have to hire a massive operational staff? Could you go from a 10 or 15% net profit company to a 20 or 25% net profit company? And the answer is yes. But is it going to be perfect or exactly the way you want it? Probably not. But if you can get there and you can deliver an amazing experience and your customers are happy, but it looks slightly different than the way you thought, I still think that's a win, guys. So I knew going into it that it wasn't going to be perfect. I prepared my team that it was going to be a little bumpy, but I'm really excited about what I'm seeing. If we can get some of these annoying bugs fixed, and it feels like whack-a-mole a little bit where I'm like, oh my God, there's a problem here. Boom. And then they're working on that. And then boom. Now I'll tell you, they escalate things quickly and they are getting things done. We're getting our message to them. They're sending them to the product team. And within hours, sometimes we're getting things fixed, which is awesome. Like that would never happen with ServiceTitan. But then it pissed me off one day when I feel like everything's falling apart, and I see on their Facebook page they just rolled out a new feature. Like, what the heck, dude? Well, why are you building new features when your core product isn't perfect? Like, we got to fix the core. So I complained and complained and complained and complained, and I think they were complaining too, and I think they were as frustrated as we were, which was in some sense of a matter like a relief. It I'm so used to software companies treating service companies like, "Oh, there's no problems. Oh, we'll put it on the product roadmap in 6 months to a year." And this is why I love FieldPulse, because they came back to me and they said, "Hey, Ryan, you're not crazy. We're seeing it too. And we're going to stop production of features until we get it all fixed. And if you have a list of things that you've seen that you need to bring to our attention, please do." Holy cow. Really? Like sometimes that's good enough. I'm not expecting the company to supply field service management software to be perfect. And I know software very well. And I know when you push things out, there could be issues. And sure enough, we had plenty of issues. We still have plenty of issues. But when you know you have a company where all the employees you talk to care so much and they have direct access to the product team, which can sometimes be really good and really bad sometimes. But if there's truly a bug and they're hiring people on the production or the product team to get through and fix a lot of this stuff, listen, that's all I can ask for. Right now, that's all I can ask for. I'm saving a massive amount of money by doing what we're doing. I've ported in all of my phone numbers to high level. I got 80 something phone numbers. We're building out our pools right now for our website. I mean, like, what I'm going to have in a year or two is going to be one of the most well-oiled machines in the garage door industry. And quite possibly, we could get to the point where we're one of the most profitable if I can pull this off the way I want, which is absolutely insane because trust me, I've never been the most profitable. I know I do this podcast and I talk all about profitability because I think it's super important, but don't think that I've got it all figured out because I don't. I overpay people in some places, underpay people in other places, and I wish everyone was overpaid. And I still wish we could be the most profitable, but it just doesn't work out that way. I got 3 locations, and they're all 3 are very nice. I mean, I got overhead. And I also don't want to charge my customers a gazillion dollars for things. We are top of market, but I do think that we're very fair. And I'd like to stay there as much as humanly possible. So I feel like it's almost my obligation. How do we give our customers the best possible experience in the world between any service company, not just garage doors, but like, how do I deliver the best experience they've ever had ultimately with any company, but especially with a home service company with a competitive price? I gotta cut. And we've been able to cut tens of thousands of dollars a month. And then I'm getting to the point where all the humans on my staff are going to be like sales related. And then I'm trying to build out AI and automation for operations. And even some AI and automation for the sales team. Listen, we're going. We're pushing the pedal to the metal on sales and automation. If you're interested in some of this stuff, I'm going to be sharing a lot of it at the mastermind. You do not have to be a GDU member. It's super cheap. Listen, it's $500 plus your travel. And that covers the food because I'm spending a lot of money on food. And it's at a place that's like, I don't know, probably 30 minutes, not even 30 minutes, probably 20 to 30 minutes north of the airport, depending on traffic. If there's a bunch of traffic, it may be a little more. But just giving you a heads up, like, and this whole podcast was not a pitch for this. I'm just sharing that if you like what I'm saying, I'm going to be sharing a lot of these things at this mastermind. It's my time to check out. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know. I'll let you later. Be safe, have fun, and make some money.